Grounded 2 arrives in early access like a child kicking open the garden gate and suddenly turns one cozy lawn into an enormous public park. Everything looks, sounds, and responds as if the first game spent 3 straight years at the gym. The sequel is broader, faster, and a lot more confident. At its core, the fantasy has not changed. 4 teenagers are miniaturized to insect size and must survive in a world where soda cans tower like metal silos and the shadow of a ladybird feels as wide as a thundercloud. The difference is scale. Instead of one backyard, the sequel presents a full public greenbelt, dotted with picnic benches, abandoned speakers, an overturned ice cream cart that creates a frozen pocket, and a bronze statue that gleams like a fairy tale watchtower. Simply walking around is a show in itself. Story pacing is far tighter than before. Early access for the first game felt skeletal. Players exhausted the plot in a weekend and waited weeks for more. Here, voiced cutscenes, hidden laboratories, and optional quests pop up often enough that anyone who loves to explore can bank 40 fresh hours before credits roll. Streamlining fuels nearly every system. The new Omni tool makes the shovel axe, hammer, and wrench into one high-tech gadget that never snaps, and upgrades only cost raw science. Inventory clown car antics vanish overnight. Hotbar slots finally belong to weapons gliders, canteens, and lures instead of duplicate tools. Traditionalists may miss their faithful hatchets, yet 10 minutes with the new setup makes old routines feel ancient. Progression is clearer too. Armor and mutations now fall into simple archetypes such as Ranger, Brawler, Magus, or Scout. Put on a full Brawler set and you charge a Haymaker after perfect blocks, suit up in Ranger leathers, and every arrow slices deeper into Beetle Shell. Nothing forces you to follow the labels, but they offer guidance while still letting veterans mix pieces into hybrid loadouts. Mounts headline every trailer and earn that spotlight. Taming insects rewrites movement so thoroughly that ziplines feel quaint. A red soldier ant can haul logs like a living forklift and chew through roots that once demanded tier 2 tool. An orb weaver will let you sprint up a tree bark, run across silk highways, and drop onto aphids like a Saturday morning superhero. Mounts share a single inventory, so you cannot create an infinite mule train, so scoop up range is still a little picky. Galloping over planks sometimes leaves them sitting in dust. Environmental hazards add drama. The frozen dessert cart numbs mounts until they collapse, while smoke from the barbecue pit poisons them unless you craft proper mass. Riding is powerful, not automatic victory. Combat benefits from those mounts and also from new toys. Dual daggers flurry like sewing machines. Elemental staves send spice or frost blasts to gently home toward enemies. Heavy gauntlets punch so hard the controller thuds. Heavy strikes glow before impact, making ambush criticals easier. Shields cannot be upgraded, which stings, yet the silky dodge move lets you weave through stingers instead of relying on turtle blocks. Veterans will adapt quickly. Newcomers get room to experiment without punishment. Survival economics feel generous. Milk molars still gate mutation slots, yet upgrade stones gradually respawn, erasing the fear of investing in the wrong spear. Raw science unlocks Omni tool tiers and decorative sign sets, yet grind ceilings are lower. Practical upgrades arrive long before endgame biomes, and only novelty extras require scavenging detours. Base building sits between comfort and a mission. Blueprint snapping works beautifully, and new thatch roofs and pine needle walls refresh style, yet mushroom bricks cement and the beloved quick deposit shortcut are gone. Minor friction adds up because resource dumps now involve staring at chests instead of pressing one magic button. Patch notes hint these classics could return. Customization outside the workshop also feels trimmed. Collectible scab color palettes that once recolored the heads-up display are history. Now you reskin the wrist-mounted Scabby 2.0 and Omni tool with bug parts and raw science, and each look stays bound to a specific team. Functional, yes, but the thrill of finding a neon green HUD under a soda puddle is missing. 4 premium skins sit inside a founder's pack, and that choice rubs some pioneers the wrong way. The map itself more than compensates for those losses. A giant speaker pumps ambient bass beside the picnic zone. Deep frost around the ice cream cart forces players to juggle temperature along with bug attacks. A fiery grill revives the sizzling mechanic, yet condenses it into a tense sprint instead of a marathon ordeal. A creature variety mixes the familiar with the new. Mites, orb weaver juniors, and wolf spiders still roam, yet roaches now burst in caustic foam, and scorpion families hunt in trios of adult, junior, and hatchlings. Passive giants such as snails and caterpillars add atmosphere even though their shells resist tier 3 hammers. Predator interactions look sharper. Large bugs hunt small ones more often, letting opportunists scoop loot after the dust settles. Roaming scorpions ignore biome borders, which inject suspense whenever grass rustles. The technical polish is decent, though not pristine. For elaborate bases, there can be a little bit of frame rate issues as well. Mounts occasionally reseat riders while chopping stems. Crashes appear less than they did in early Grounded 1, yet autosave should stay on. Co-op shines, world host migration functions correctly, shared map markers sync instantly, proximity crafting pulls from any teammate chest nearby, season groups feel seamless. Obsidian already published a public roadmap that promises quarterly updates. There's a bug called a water striders which can ride water surfaces, which is pretty cool. And there is talk about a pumpkin patch event that will add spooky decor, treehouse raids, will test out the best base builds, a playground creative mode will arrive before version 1.0. Judging by Act 1 density, the future content could quadruple variety. Veterans find the sequel familiar yet different enough to matter. Newcomers receive smarter tutorials and clearer signposts. Speedrunners are already posting ant mount routes that clear major objectives in under 10 minutes. There's room for every playstyle without sacrificing the sandbox. Audio work in this game is phenomenal, and individual blades of grass hiss beneath your feet. Ladybird shells clack when struck, heavy blows land with a wet crunch that makes you wince even though every creature is digital. Not all is flawless. Omni Tool balance limited dies, and the Founders Pack skins feel off-key. Placeholder resources such as lint tufts suggest pieces of progression will unlock later, yet the fundamental fun is undeniable. After a few days inside this micro-kingdom, you will only crave more snail trails to follow. The sequel is already stronger than Grounded 1 at the same milestone and will likely climb as systems mature. $40 buys an adventure that rivals finished survival games, complete with mounts, story beats, and a visual showcase for Unreal Engine 5. Even if you skipped every eventual patch, the current content justifies the ticket. Story depth surprises as well. The Shrink program now drills tracking chips into ladybirds for corporate profit. One opening scene shoves the heroes along a factory line like defective toys and instantly raises stakes above the missing parents mystery of the first game. Dialogue offers subtle flavor. Each teen feels more dimensional than most sandbox protagonists. Visual fidelity leaps forward. Ground fog filters sunlight into warm rays. Water droplets cling like macro photography. Day fades from peach sunrise to violet dusk. Night now reveals silhouettes instead of pitch black voids, and fireflies shine like lanterns overhead. Accessibility keeps pace with colorblind filters and full key rebinding, head bob sliders, and an arachnophobia option that swaps spiders for floating saucers. Opinions split on raw science economics. Some relish the hunt, others want a hardcore switch that disables the candy-colored currency. Given the studio's responsive history that toggle may surface, co-op perks continue. Proximity crafting, synchronized research, and shared chest inventories mean teams rarely argue over loot. Developers tease future mod guidelines which might allow glowing ladybug armor or Omni tools reimagined as sci-fi gadgets. Seasonal events are already planned: Halloween mite swarms, the snowdrift patch requiring sled sneakers, a sprinkler malfunction that floods half the yard. Base defense raids return, focusing on tick infestations triggered by cooking aromas. At present, raid knobs adjust frequency and enemy type, although deeper customization is promised. Some concerns linger, however. Tier 3 gear caps growth until promised Tier 5 materials appear. Some wildlife teased in trailers remains missing, yet compared to the avalanche of upgrades, those gaps feel tiny. The sequel uproots weeds, spreads new soil, and tends a garden where nearly every mechanic blooms. Grounded 2 does not simply add content, it reimagines how you traverse, fight, and express personality at insect size. Chores shrink, spectacle doubles, and the blueprint for future growth looks sturdy. Whether Act 2 sends us up a towering oak or down leaking storm drains where centipedes coil, the sequel already proves that the smallest heroes can inspire gigantic adventures. If you plan on playing Grounded 2, be sure to like and subscribe and comment below so you stay up to date. And with that, I'm out. Peace.